Okay, we're back. Yes, we're here. It's late night. I'm going to change it over so I can read the chat. Yes, we had to change the schedule. So I'm hoping Sunday works well for you guys, wherever you are in the world, and we can have a look in. We will have the updates for the twin flame out shortly, and I'm going to be doing the newbie I'll be doing the next set and the members. How are we doing? I'm wondering which view I should look at. Someone turned up at your door, that'll be right. Okay, I pulled the Rune cast. It has been pretty heavy. Have you noticed? Have you noticed how heavy it's been? Super fun. Let's get the cards. Now, I pulled the Rune cast. I'm hoping the audio is okay. I had to get a new microphone. And I don't know if I like it. Talk about being fussy, right? So have we noticed, because I did open them up all at once, yes, your star signs are up and out. Yeah, it was really heavy. And look, we do have the shadow phase of Chiron. Funny enough, the Rune cast relates to Virgo, and I did say Virgos and Geminis would be in it. Especially because a lot of the wounds are going to come out. We had the new moon in Cancer, end of June, and the shadow sign of Cancer happens to be Capricorn, so it's going all the way back to 2020. And it's inner child wounds. It can be to do with our family, the location we're living in. And Aries and Chiron is going up, ready to go retrograde. So, those wounds be coming up. Triggers, emotional energy, feeling, and you'll be irritated at yourself. You'll be like, God, why is this coming up again? Why blooming now, right? And each one I am covering within the star sign subscription on my website. I pretty much prepared it for the bi-monthly update. If you can hear my partner coughing, he's coughing. I had to put a headset on him so it doesn't affect the audio on YouTube. So he's very happy. So how's the evening sound? The sound sounds good. I'm glad. It was irritating me during the podcast. I had to pre-speak and then wait for it to catch. Libra be quicker than the audio. So what triggers have we had come up? Number one, keep your fluid up. Honest, you're going to regret it if you don't. You're going to be so thirsty. So thirsty. And Neptune's wreaking havoc on patterns at the moment, but definitely psychic attacks. Oof, I've been having dreams galore and they've been really messed up. Anyone been having dreams? Like the dream state, freaky, absolutely freaky. I was going to get a crystal. I want to get a crystal. Obviously, tourmaline and obstinane. Okay, if you want to have a bit of a detox, you can use citron. Feels like she is talking to me. I told my sister, I says, wow, Matt, and I know, okay, I'm a psychic medium and I know very well about psychic attacks. I didn't even know I was a twin flame for years. Thank God. So anyway, yes, you will find the astro realm is very thin. So you can have hauntings. You'll be super aware. You really do need to, till after the 5th, be very careful because we have Mars in Aries until the 5th, right? I think it's Mars. There was a placement in, I'm just saying, be careful till after the 5th. You can be very accident prone. Cuts, bruises. I'm saying that with sports stars at the moment. Shark attacks. I'm like, I'm not going in the water. I feel like, astrologically, when you understand it more, you legitimately will look at it like, final destination. That's the way I look at it these days. It's like it's so obvious where the things kind of land, especially because we had situations in the collective to do with feminines, Cancer. It was like, let's just be told what we have to do with our bits. Thanks. 5th is your birthday. It transits into Taurus. which will create endurance. Mars and Taurus is endurance. And, you know, Uranus and Taurus for the collective, especially for feminine, because we've got the North Node there. We're going to have a conjunction to the North Node in Taurus. Yeah, that's going to be fun. What you'll find is it's Taurus, the relation to Uranus and Taurus is to do with time. Okay, so the time things take, the effort you put in, the penance you paid, you know. Left or right for feminine? Pick your poison. Let's see where this is at. Okay, so we have the Rune cast is in reverse, and it's like, yeah, and it does make sense. Now, Chiron, the wounded healer, is going retrograde. Okay, so the symbolism is actually linking to Virgo. So it is Mercury in nature. And when we look at where Venus is at the moment, it's in the house of Gemini. What happens is it's higher heart chakra. So Chiron's in shadow at the moment. We had the moon in Cancer. So in the twin flame collective, especially for impacts, what you're going to get is all of these wounds coming to the surface, and it is that clearing of the heart chakra. We've got a lot to do with the base chakra going on because we're wanting safety, security, and stability. And especially with the Neptune, you're going to get very dehydrated. So it's important to keep your fluid up, obviously, you know, correctly. And you will go for those vices. So that can be pacifiers, alcohol and things to that degree. You really have to be careful, especially Virgos and Geminis, you know, because of your placements. But yes, all of us have these placements in our charts where there isn't coronets really kicking off. I did say, are you ready for it to start moving? Now, I do see that because Neptune is retrograde and it wasn't the placement of divine masculine's astrology, you're going to start hearing from them. So you will be asking yourself, are you ready? And that is the big question at the moment. But there is a spiritual karmic test coming up due to the fact that Juno, the marriage asteroid, is going to be going retrograde. So, you know, even for those of you in connections, even for those of you single, it is going to affect you. And it's not fun. But it is great. It's really healing, but it's happening in Pisces. I don't know how I feel about that no more. Anywho, so what do we have? Okay, everything going to extreme, overindulgence and excess. Let's have a look at the Rune cast. Oh, looks so romantic. Swans. A bit like how we looked at Twin Flame Path. It's only a joke. We need it for therapy. Okay, so astrologically, Virgo, higher heart chakra, color gold, earth and air. What does it relate to? I actually printed this on me through an aspect of my Ascension, and it was prior to reconciliation. I look at this as the key to life, okay? And I actually put it on my wrist for psychic protection, especially because I'm a psychic medium. Protection, sanctuary, prayer, friendship, trust. Metaphysical communication with the divine, which is not a good time if you don't have really good control of your third eye. You definitely need to be careful what you're thinking on, especially those karmics, okay? Now, it isn't a negative thing, but it does say that we are in need of protection. This is a really good time to protect your energy. If you find something in the media that's triggering you, it's like human digest. You're going to eat it and it's going to become part of your energy and it's going to be expressed out in the collective, which in the next few weeks, it can get very testing with the collective consciousness. And it's really through the twin flame path that we anchor that energy in. So, when this Rune cast is drawn, it suggests that the quadrant may be in need of protection, but confirms that such protection is assured. All the quadrant needs to do is to confirm their link with Gaia through meditation or prayer, depending on what your spiritual belief is. When reversed, the Rune warns against great peril. Okay, half the time we're our worst undoing because it's like the trigger comes up. And there was this vibration I actually picked up psychically of danger. And I was like, okay, I acknowledge it's there and I protect my aura. Sometimes things have to happen for movement. I trust that. Okay, so the The twig should be sought from a living yew tree itself and worn as protection. So for me, spiritually, the energy we put into a symbolism of protection, it holds weight and bearing. So you can draw it on you. You could get tourmaline, onyx, clear your house, put your salt at the door if you need to, and be very cautious about what you're tuning into. Be cautious going into any conflict with anyone, and really steer clear of any drama, because it could be a little bit rowdy in the week coming. Okay, let's get into the Rune cast. So there's an issue at the moment at hand, and it might be that your ascension process is pretty extreme. Now, there is this conflict. The conflict can be coming up between divine feminine and masculine, and it's coming through in the aura. Both of you potentially could sense it. They're also in a communication style. For those of you who are in communication, there could be this trigger that's coming up, and it's testing in order to actually try to explain to each other what you directly are, trying to articulate to each other. So keep that in mind when you're trying to deal with this. I think for me personally, within my twin flame path, how I've articulated it is knowing that, yes, sometimes there's circumstances that are relating to the past. It is a little bit like PTSD, but then trying to explain it from the here and now and why that directly is coming up. Now, obviously, for those of you that aren't communicating, it doesn't mean to say it doesn't resonate, because it's almost like a negotiation on the ethers, and it directly goes through. Now, both of you are in conflict due to this waiting, okay? It's the calm before the storm, so to speak. It's the frustration. And energetically, a lot of what some of you might be thinking is, gee, what am I waiting for? Do I need to go and do something? Now, I always say, if something to that degree is coming up, maybe you have put something on hold. That might be a transfer of job. It might have been moving house. There would have been something that you had put on hold, so therefore the pressure of that circumstance is coming up. I can say that this time at the moment, from a creative sense, we could look to the world at the moment with lack mentality, but it's asking us to be resourceful. And that really was coming up last month as I did the update on my website to do with the collective consciousness. Sagittarius linked back to the end of 2021. That was the full moon we had. So at a purgatory level, it can relate to religion, beliefs, gurus. We saw that with the North Node in Gemini, the South Node in Sagittarius. And this is where a lot of us were home from a spiritual point of view. And generally in your twin flame path, what will happen pre-union is you'll be taken away from each other. And so you have to sit in that darkness psychologically, so that you can face those fears and they never define you again. And so it can feel like a dark night of the soul energy, that everything's coming up and it's quite haunting. But when you're facing these things, it feels like, you're shuffling through junk. You literally find that you are eliminating those things and they can no longer define you. They are deeply, some of those things can be deeply traumatic. And sometimes we think we've gone through the dark night of the soul, which I was deeply frustrated by, because it resurrected itself back up. And that's generally because, how can I explain it? Some of those traumas are so large and they can be past tense related or current tense. So your body will only go through what it can cope with. And generally, if it is really extreme, you can tend to have a soul walk in, and that's like a little bit like a spiritual death. So what's the crystal? I attract romance. Repeat after me. I attract romance filled with divine love. I have a healthy, intimate life. Good old Scorpio. Okay, Ruby. It is to do with Venus. Okay, we are having this Venus kind of energy coming up. We're thinking a lot. We're listening to people's opinions. A lot of time when we say listen, is that we need to listen to our heart, and it's not a head and heart decision. It's just what the heart says. The heart won't negotiate with you. It doesn't care about the logic. It's how do I feel? Then the logic can help guide you as well. But when it's between the two, you're sort of battling yourself, so you're not completely in duality. Okay, so this is to do with an ending, but the ending as such isn't relating to your twin flame path. It's about psychologically coming to terms with things, and it's overwhelming at the moment for both masculine and feminine. Also in the waiting game in this situation, both of you are feeling inside of making a leap of faith or moving forward. You're feeling very, what would I say, vulnerable, okay, very stripped back. Very open to the world, and it feels vulnerable. It feels very vulnerable. So this notion we can get is like the Cancerian, where we want to protect ourselves. And what do we do when we're protecting ourselves? We're volatile. We push back. Okay. So why is this coming up between the both of you? Now, some of you might have channeled that there is something going on with your counterpart, and there could be, and it can be coming through in divine feminine's aura. At times we swap. What I'm seeing at the moment is you're trying to walk away from tower moments. Something might have gone down, and that could have been in counterpart's life. And definitely I would say, because Chiron and Aries is going retrograde shortly, it's in shadow, we are looking at all the traumas we've actually gone through as human beings in our life. You can be really nostalgic. You can look at all the great glorious things with romanticized eyes, but Neptune went retrograde. So Neptune did give that tower, where the problem we might be having right now is if we can observe or know what a situation is. It could be that that person has a karmic individual in their life. It might be that they're married with children. It could be that, it could be 100 things. But looking at it, there might have been the romanticism of the logic of the connection and how it felt. And now there's the 3D reality. What would need to happen in order for it to be from A to B? So this is causing some sense of angst and frustration, because we're, the rose-colored glasses are coming off. Also in a shadow sense, sometimes with whatever that, it's almost like there's always another a landmine. And the logic that came up this week was Jekyll and Hyde. And it was like, trying to get into duality to be simultaneously the same energy with every individual. Has been a bit challenging, I feel. Okay, there's a connection here. I do feel this is all to do with family and home and tradition. All right, we have at the heart of it, the marriage card. Okay, but again, I'm feeling it's the tradition. There could be a traditional viewpoint we're taking, especially because we went from Sagittarius to the new moon in Cancer. That energy is still lingering. So you could have these situations that you're looking at and saying, but this is what something looks like. That's how it looks like. You've got to remember, when we're looking at it, yes, as twin flames, you are the yin to the yang, but it's also your direct personal experience. And if everyone saw it through our own eyes, everyone would be exactly the same. And I think at the moment, with the age of Aquarius, and especially because next year Pluto is moving into Aquarius, I think the outdated ways of presuming that everyone is the same is really going to come under the spotlight. And I feel it's presumptuous, because we're not. From my experience and my path, my counterpart has dealt with things a lot quicker than I have, but my fair base was they were going to take a lot longer. So there is a situation happening here relating to the spiritual marriage and trying to understand it. Some of you, a dream that you had, maybe, it was yesteryears, and now you're reviewing that. Some of you may be losing hope because of a karmic related situation, because you're looking at it through traditional eyes. I told you 100 times, if this comes up for you, my best advice would be psychologically tune out of what they would need to do. Whenever I was doing that, I actually found it extended the path. And when I let go of it, I saw instantly transformation and change. So if you have been doing that and you've got like a kind of map of how it would get from A to B, stop doing that, because what you're doing is putting it out to the ethers and it's co-creating it. And I do have 25 years of experience of doing that. So don't do what I did. FYI. Okay, cheating and betrayals is coming up. Some of you are scared. Some of you are thinking, can behavioral patterns change? Can, is this person always going to be like this? Am I going to be safe? Am I going to be safe with them? I think you do come to a space that you realize anybody can hurt you. That also is another purge. You kind of like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So I'm seeing here, your concern is this situation fixable? Has too much time, Uranus and Taurus, gone by? The moon phases are bringing these emotions up, but they're clearing it so they open. There is movement here, but there's something at a foundation level. You may be presuming that you're the situation, okay? That sometimes if it was us, it would be easier to change. But what I'm seeing from the cards at a foundational level, you could be picking up on your counterparts' emotions and vibrations and triggers at the moment. And so you do need to be quite aware of where you are energetically in your day. And how you can do that is if you've been feeling super hypers and you've been getting things done, and then all of a sudden you get this wave come in, who were you thinking about? Did a name pop up in your head? Feel where it's coming from, blow out, blow it back, and just say to yourself, look, I empathize. I too am going through this, and I directly understand. Sometimes it's that they're thinking on a subject that you've already dealt with, and you'll get the download psychically. Okay, steer clear of gossip at the moment. It's just going to get messy, okay? You're going to bump into them. You're going to hear gossip. You're going to hear things. Unless it comes from the horse's mouth, it means nothing. Let it go. Did we say left? Left. Libra, rising, Virgo, Mercury, Rune. Yeah, both of us are having crappy times, Ange. Yeah, Virgo. Virgo and Libra. I feel sorry for me at the moment, Libra. Ugh. Okay, to the left. That song was one of my TF songs. To the left, to the left. I was crying while I sang it though. Okay. Yeah, look, there's something in their life at the moment. It's challenging. I think when we have been protecting ourselves for so long, mentally speaking, it's almost like they know psychologically they're moving forward, and they also know psychologically when they move forward, there's never any turning back. And not that that's a bad thing. They don't know how they're going to be received. They know that there is something they're having to address or having to deal with, that the cycle hasn't completely closed out, or it's a direct action that they're going to be taking, but they're kind of looking at it like, gee, you know, I'm a little bit out here in the open and I'm quite vulnerable. Let's see what this is about. Let me get what should I use? I don't know why I'm hearing these songs. Okay. There's a Gemini in the house. Is Dawn in the house? Whenever Dawn enters, I always get songs. Do we have a Gemini in the house? Okay, you guys are confusing them. They know that where they are, they're not happy. They know that they have a spiritual connection. Morning, Dale. They also feel if they can't be with you, that kind of that affects them even more. Sometimes they're feeling they don't deserve the empathy. There you go. I knew I had a Gemini in the house. Whenever I get gems in the house, I always get songs. I love your guides. Your guides are so cool. I just want to party with them. Okay, so compassion, higher heart chakra. Yes, the masculines at the moment through their transits are actually being really strict on themselves. We can't see that battle inside. It's called the hero's journey. So psychologically, it's almost like the personal forgiveness. It's like we know not what we do, but when we know better, we do better. We can't turn time back. You know, many of us with certain things that we've done, we would love to turn time back, but we physically can't. So this is it could be that they had been married or there was children involved. And yes, these people wouldn't have got hurt if that was the case. 100% do we think this, but there's something that can't change. So again, Neptune is giving us these psychological viewpoints to revisit to reach closure. Okay. There could also be a very tough situation that they've dealt with, and also it's almost like they're trying to prevent this clearing and healing, but they know they've got to jump in the deep end. Okay, they've felt this coming for a very long time. There has been this avoidance to deal, and we have seen this at a collective level when it does come to superstars. We saw a couple that were maybe using substances and dealing with their stress levels, where they're coming out and they're saying, hey, I actually need help. And that is what you're going to see with the collective consciousness with divine masculines. I did say to my twin the other day, I really do feel quite bad for how we have been in society, almost making it a shame factor that we can't express how we're feeling or disappointments and anxiety. And it's this poker face we have been putting on. We didn't need the masks. We created these masks to show resilience and strength. So I am seeing at the moment, this is now coming up. There's a lot on their plate. They do feel it's karmic in nature. There's a lot of stress coming up, especially surrounding family-related dynamics, family, tribe, children, home-related energy. I do feel these individuals have had, at times, unhealthy energies in their life. They're trying to, gain that momentum. And I feel as Mars moves into Taurus, this is really going to make them use their time correctly. I do feel they're looking at this. It's almost like, raising that vibration, gaining that self-esteem and courage to communicate how they're feeling. And you will find there will be a pushback. So the pushback will be if somebody's trying to dominate them, especially with Venus and Gemini. We can be very defiant at the moment. And how could I explain it? To the point you want commitment, but you want autonomy. So you got to, and that is the healthy codependency. It's like being connected, but not being controlled. And with the frequency of Lilith in Cancer, yes, we can, as individuals and human beings, get clingy, needy, and controlling. A karmic that doesn't have those tools or self-awareness is going to react in this fashion, which is going to be quite controlling, not really articulating how they feel. And I feel these individuals here in the mix this week are directly experiencing that, especially because by the 2nd and the 3rd, we were having squares, which is really difficult to Pluto. So psychologically, at a collective level, we're having difficulty with healing and letting things go. So like I said, if you knew it was the astro weather, you just look at it and you go, oh, crap, it's the astro weather. Okay, I'm fine. It's just collective consciousness. Okay, so have they had a string of bad luck? Yes. And they do. They really do feel quite cursed at the moment. Pardon me. They kind of feel like anything they have been dealt in their life has been just dark energy, bad luck, crappy situations. I think they're fighting to get themselves out of the circumstance, whatever it is. This mini break is only for a very short term, and I think it's actually shifting this week. That is their paranoia here? Yes, but I think it's for good reason. Let's find out what this is about. There's something here in the mix that they're making reference to, and I think it's an individual or a circumstance. I get this feeling they know this situation very well. It's kind of a darker situation. And however, yeah, this could be an ex-partner or a current partner. I get this real protective vibe to do with you guys, like to do with the counterpart connection. But they're trying to set those pavers up so it's safe, so it's going to last that test of time. Okay, there's worry about a particular individual and their behavior. They're hoping something's going to come full 360 to give them their ticket out. What is this to do with? I think it's to do with money. I don't know why they're holding so much attachment to this, potentially because we do have Jupiter in Aries at the moment. So it's about shifting it, getting their power back and moving it in the correct direction. I thought so. It's money. It's money. And like they want to come with bearing gifts. They want to come with that fresh beginning. Okay, they want to come with the love, but they don't want to come empty-handed. This is something that they're not wanting. I feel some of them are just going to jump in the deep end and know that they can actually, they are the gold, that they can create that it doesn't have to be that physical finance from, be it it's tribe, be it it's from, a breakup. They're like, you know what? all this time I've been using, I kind of think I can actually repair that factor myself. But they directly are thinking about this connection, but there is something in the mix with family going on. Now, over here with Divine Feminine, you guys are like, I just want to go to victory. When am I going to get my gold? When am I getting my pot of gold? How do I have my celebration? The funny thing was, even last month, I was mentioning Christmas in July. And this is one of those months that, yes, we're going into the wave, but as we come out, the hard work we put in, we can actually reap a lot of benefits. And they don't just have to be financial, but you're going to look like me. You're going to get really tired. So fingers crossed, blessings to you all. You're willing to work with someone, but you want that Christmas in July. You want that romance, and you want that energy of intent where a person is directly investing in you and showing you the proof that that's what they're wanting. And I feel in the past, you may have gone in a little bit more blindsided than what you're willing to right now. So I do feel this protectiveness is for rational reasons. You're sort of looking at it from the point of view of, no, I'm not going in where angels fear to tread. I do want to know directly what I'm getting out of it. And if I don't think I'm going to jump in. Okay. Okay, there is justice on its way. I do feel, you're wanting justice. You're wanting justice. You're like, look, when's my justice coming? When is my benefit going to come? I feel that you do know it is. That doesn't mean to say the wait or the challenges and the dramas are being fun. Not at all. So away from the ego, just sitting there, would you know? Yes, providing you're not tired and exhausted, you're going to know that. But there is this spiritual energy that's coming up. Some of you can just be like, well, how would I have a functioning relationship with this ascension? How would I physically have that? And that was one of the experiences I had. The anger that came through me at the very end was more because my psychic attacks were there. I was very love and light, and it was like, look, I'm happy for you. But it was very challenging to not vibe the energy coming in, which is why I say to you, I did develop techniques through that, through many hours of sitting on the floor, is to breathe in, acknowledge it's there, push it out, because that breaks the codependency and the connection. It helps you go up a level, but it also helps them ascend quicker. Ever notice nothing moves, and as soon as you say you're moving forward and you really gospelly are, they turn up? It's because you had an attachment. So if you get triggered when you're getting the psychic download, you need to blow it out, and it's going to bring that frequency in. The physical person, that is. Okay, everything's going to extremes. You've got to protect yourselves, femmes. You're going to be going like this. It's a little bit like a chant. I'm not going to think. I won't think about it. I promise I won't. And then it comes up again. You'll manage. It'll get there. Okay, how many of you have a twin in a karmic relationship? Because there's a pocket message. There's some of you, and look, this person doesn't even need to be in a karmic relationship. It could be that it's coming back up for you. It's coming back up where you're visiting those things, right? For those that are married, some of you are thinking, look, this person's never going to leave. They're traditional. They're never going to leave. I'm not being your cake. That would cause too much conflict. There's too much embedding here. You got two choices, right? This is where I got to. We had two choices. Those that are in karmic relationships, I think we tend to presume that the only person that has a choice in that relationship is masculine, and that's not true. 101 things can happen. Number one is you live miserably so long, all right? Number two is this, as feminines or counterparts, whoever we are, we get tired of our misery and we try to find the bliss. We do try to find the bliss. And then you reach a decision. It's okay, well, do I feel I'm done? And I think you go through done hundreds of times. How many? Hundreds of times. So this channel is not to say stay or go. This channel's here to support you and to say, hey, Juno retrograde, you have that portal open for twin flames return. Gospel, right? So there's this challenge at the moment, you're fighting with it. You're looking at it, you're like, look, I'm wasting my bloody time. This person's in a bloody, they're in a marriage. They ain't leaving. They're too comfortable. They're in a nest. Jupiter transited from Pisces, the 12th house, over to Aries, the first house. And we're just about to have Aries and Chiron go retrograde. What does that mean? That's masculine's astrocast, right? That is where they go from the 12th house of I'm stuck and I'm in prison to I need to do something about it. And this is where the benefit of the Phoenix rising is eventuating, especially during Pluto retrograde. So this is a big change. If we were looking at this as being a physical rebirth year for the masculines, 100. This is a physical rebirth year. For me, mine happened in 2017, so I can resonate and relate to what these individuals are going through. And I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, quite frankly. It's horrible. This is the portal for transformation and change. The funny thing is, not only is Jupiter and Aries and Chiron going retrograde, but Juno, the feminine, Venus is going retrograde simultaneously. So we are both energetically going backwards to move forwards. And this is where, what do we do during a Venus retrograde? We reconnect to those we're connected to. So get ready. Okay, so here in the mix, you're like, why wasn't I chosen? Okay, we both have Chiron. Yeah, funny. So that's why you're stubborn. You know you can heal yourselves. It's first house. It's I can do this. And this is what we're having at the moment collectively, is that we are finding we have to. Because I could say sorry to you, but if you can't ever forgive me, you're not gonna hear F, Y, and Z from me. You're gonna be like, talk to the hand. So healing isn't to do with, yes, it would be great if that person came back and said, I'm so bloody sorry for everything I did, but if you can't take your wall down, the healing is so that you can take the wall down and still be safe and be in control. Okay, that's why. So that you can have love come into your life. So you're not going to put a fortress up and be Rapunzel putting your hair down and experiencing half a life. You're going to have the full life because that's what you deserve. So when we get mad about it, and it's like, no, they need to come back and say, no, you're missing the point. Yeah, 100%. But that aside, when that's not happening, we need to be okay. That's what we're here for. Okay, so what you're not getting is this person's bored as heck. You're also getting bored as heck, which means a new chapter's coming, especially because you're walking away from a tower. Both parties here in the mix walking away from a tower. What you're battling over is, do I stay or do I go? You're like, why am I fighting? What are you fighting? What's the fight? It's really strange. I remember when I was thinking, okay, once I heal enough, theoretically, I was running through text on YouTube, through the media, through Google. And then I thought, Yildiz, you've actually had 25 years experience. Why don't you look at your own bloody life? And when I did, wow, did I see some patterns. And it was when I psychologically let go. And I was just so calm. Shit happens. Phone call. So what's the key? During that process, you're healing. So whatever that situation was, you can sum up in a totality. You can reach peace. You can get your vibe back up, Aries and Chiron, and you can reconnect with the world. And you can have that fight and you can be like, right, I'm ready. And whenever I do that, it pissed me off so much. I'll be like, hi. And it's every time. Look at your own lives. When you've said, I've had it, you get a phone call. So what's the key? Letting go, not controlling it. Being able to have your own purpose. Being able to have a hope and a desire as much as you love your twin, to actually have a pastime, a hobby, a passion, something that you can pour your inner child of co-creativity into. So this is what it's asking the divine feminine at the moment. We had the new moon in Cancer. Where is your co-creativity? Where's your passion? You know, is it creative cooking? Is it dancing or singing? Is it doing something like art? What is that passion? And when you find that and you reconnect to it, you're going to pour all of that love into it. You're becoming that heart and you will attract it in. So when we get sidetracked and we've actually been enabling people all our life, we'll be like, I've got this book and it's so good. I'm sorry, I can't. And you won't enable. And so because you're doing that, it's going to create harmony inside your connection. Make a pie later. Can I come visit? I'm down for that. I just tell you, I've been thirsty. I cannot believe, I feel like I'm in the Sahara and I just want to drink. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Okay, there's a lot of anger here. There's like a lot of blasphemy coming through this reading in relation to your counterpart. There's a bit of blasphemy going on. Okay, what about, let's get these. Far out. Let's get these. I'll pick these up. Do we want to see what's going on with the third party? Which I have done the read, but I can pull it in relation to today. Well, just in general. Do we want a couple of cards? I seen him yesterday. Yeah, I know you messaged me. Happy birthday, Bree. Everyone, it's Bree's birthday. It was her birthday yesterday. Oh, hell yeah. If I wrote a book, you would say that's not yours. Messed up life. I actually think I'm pretty normal these days when I look at others. And I don't mean the ones that I coach. I don't mean that at all. I just mean in relation to how I initially observed myself with group dynamics in my own life. I'm like, I had this shit in the bag. I was classy. I can't say I haven't done messed up things. I am not innocent by no means, but I paid my penance. I mean, you know, you do, especially in Twin Flame Path, you do one messed up thing, it comes back in the botch in the butt, and you pay for it for years. That's part of your Twin Flame Path. It's so where you become soul healers in not through what I'm doing, for instance, but more inadvertently, like you're mucking up, but then you end up leading by example, and then people can directly kind of resonate with you, and they go, you had this experience, and you won't enable. Okay. Oh, from work for 3 weeks, clean. Oh, tell me about it. Throwing stuff out, bringing you in. That's okay. Happy birthday, lady. She's got such hip taste too. Let's have a look. Any other birthdays in the house? You're an innocent. Oh, I've done some messed up things. No regrets, man. You live. You got to live. If I did everything perfect, I would have been a rebel later. So, you know, most of my rebellious phase came out when I was around, how old was I? 20, 25? Yeah. So for me, it was like, no, man, that was mine. That was mine to have an experience. And I wouldn't have been, I had a person tell me one time, had a separation. It was my first partner. And this person said to me, you don't know who you are. And I was so offended. I was like, oh, what do you mean? And I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't know that. And you look, only, I would say 4 years ago, I met a beautiful Patreon on YouTube who I used to coach. And she's very psychic as well. She's spiritual. And she taught me a lot about myself. She also taught me how to receive. And for goodness sakes, you know, this is all late in my 30s, not knowing how to receive. Ridiculous. You have to learn to say no. You have to be okay to receive without feeling, You know, it's like a cycle of life. Like, okay, will you give to me? Even accepting the fact that you can choose to receive without having to give. That's okay too. It's actually healthy, because what if you can't? That's an expectation. So many lessons. So she taught me some of the most valuable lessons in my life. Good grief, yes. Beautiful Jen, love it a bits. Shout out, Jen. And Lysiana. Lysiana is another beautiful soul who's helped me. Oh, we got the star. Okay, this is not for nothing. Okay, this is not for nothing. My heart is opening to give and to receive love. High heart chakra. You do realize when things are retrograde, it's where we can get the best success. It's not always doom and gloom. It feels horrible in the initial stage. It's a bit like a knee-jerk reaction. It's going to bring it all up. Watermelon Tumbaline. Focusing on divine love. That if you made a mistake, are you lovable? Yes, you're lovable. Twin is 52 and doesn't know how to receive. We always have the mirror there. You know what? Sometimes we help people understand that inadvertently by our own actions too. Yeah, I used to give. And then I'd complain I didn't receive, but it was like, well, stop giving. Because why? We react to a person and how we want to receive. And sometimes it's because we don't feel worthy, or we feel we'll be manipulated if somebody gives us something. My father taught me that, Dad. You know, Yildiz, if you take a gift from a male, you are accepting their advances and you're leading them on. And I was like, that's really sad. Can't we learn to receive and be grateful without the expectation? A bit like getting a drink at a bar. I'll be like, no, I've got mine, thanks. Yeah, no. Or watch the cup. That's using your intuition or your logic, right? Open your heart to love. Feel unconditional love and support. Bridge the spiritual connection between you, heaven and earth. Increase romance. Opening a heart chakra, right? You will go through a stage in your heart chakra, which is potentially going to happen to a lot of you prior to reconciliation. It literally feels like your heart's going to blow up. It returns to, and then the analogy I had over the weekend was, when you're purging and you're crying and it feels like your heart's breaking, it is the remembrance of the immense amount you love that person. That's why it hurts so hard. It's like, it's wowing, and then you're like, such a. You got the star card. Through darkness, Chiron and Aries, comes light. So we may presume in dark hours there's nothing, but what happens when it's nighttime and we look up at the sky? There's a star, right? So this is the way we have to look at it. We get that navigation, North Star, right? Is by being in the dark, we find that deep clarity, we find that deep healing, and we are assured to have the success because we're transforming. I don't know. I feel like some of you have had a breakthrough. Some of you psychologically have had a bit of a breakthrough, and you're kind of looking at it differently. You're like, I do know that I'm moving forward, and I do. It's almost like you instinctually know something's coming. Okay, how many of you are feeling as though you can't move forward? It's not really you can't. For loving so hard. I don't feel stupid. Why is it a sin to love? I love my father who passed away, but because he's not here, should we not? That is the analogy I used to use on myself when I was trying to make sense of love. Love isn't about reason and logic. Love is a feeling. The feeling doesn't care about your logic. The feeling is the feeling. And so we can't fake it. It's either it is there. Your heart, logic would be, sometimes when we look at it through karmic eyes for a second. A karmic would not, how do I explain it? without being, it's not rude. It's more, going into a connection, really looking at it going, well, if I don't love you, but it's safe, is that better? No, not really. Do you get what I'm saying? I woke up this morning determined to move forward. Let's see how long it lasts, but we are moving forward. I think we just need to realize that what I would say to myself was, okay, usually if I was purged around, I was mad and it was coming up, I was like, you're actually tired because you are moving forward. You're here presently in your life and you are investing in it every day. The next thing I would say to myself is, am I having ascension symptoms? There's something coming in. The other thing I would say is, okay, do I know if I would say yes or no? No, I don't, because I'm not there yet. That's the future. But where am I today? How do I feel today? And I would be like, still got feelings. Okay, then let's see how you feel tomorrow. It was a little bit like, if you got like gastro and you wake up and you're like, am I right yet? And you're like, maybe another day. We'll check tomorrow. Had ascension symptoms. Well, yeah, look, when you are around the person, I'm not saying in my reconciliation I had no triggers. I had a lot. I had a panic attack in the room, and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, because I was pushing them away and going, no, you're not going to react the same way. No, you're not going to react the same way. And it was a process of elimination for me. So it was like, is it the same? No. Okay. Are you triggered because of the past? Yes, that's a you problem. Both react differently. And so I was rewiring my behavioral pattern to get a different outcome. It's hard. It's very hard, but you can. Okay, this is celebration. Look, the seeds you planted will create. So what we feed, we do reap. Whenever I thought of something, everything bad happened to me. I mean, everything down to a T of what I was petrified of actually physically happened to me. If I was Adele, hello, right? What would I say to myself? Stop manifesting that shit, yours. Because I literally manifested a lot of yucky stuff. All right, there's a new chapter. You've got to picture the calm. I said to a beautiful Patreon, I won't mention the person's name, but I took her down this rabbit hole, and it was like, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you, and it was, it's a really great kind of exercise to have when you're outside, because you need the freshness of the air, you need to be present in the environment, and I want you to go outside during the day, it can be during the night as well, wherever it is, and I want you to close your eyes and be really peaceful, and I want you to breathe in and breathe out, and I want you to picture everything is perfect. Everything is safe. And I want you to picture your person with you, and it's very calm. Everything's in harmony. Everything's fine, and feel that vibe. And by doing that, when you're in a trigger, when you get that senses, you need to smell the air. You need to connect to your environment. And then you need to bring yourself to the space of duality with that person. And if you can do that, when you're triggered and that comes in, you need to take yourself to that Zen space. And that's going to calm your energy down. The astrology won't make it that long these days. Okay? So we need to face the shadow, not for them, for us. But it is, when you do think about it, on the 5D, you know damn straight, when you are channeling and you're connected, it's calm. Because there's no ego. There's the highest octane view of what it is. It's in the ego body, the human experience, the matrix of where we are. We are physically looking at landmines, potholes, problems, blockages, control, karmics having control. Take that seed away, unplant that. That's not true. There's hundreds of people on the planet that have had separations. Unfortunate as such, but it's true. There's hundreds of people that have children that had to separate because they're unhealthy together. There's hundreds of people that were together for really ill reasons. And sometimes a person could be with a really lovely person, but they outgrow each other. So nothing is impossible. This is what we need to understand. Okay, anyone want a super chat? What I'm seeing here, though, is sometimes psychologically, by our thought processes, they're interlinked and it might be coming up. Now, I do feel there is an action-orientated physical energy going on with Divine Masculine at the moment, and I feel they're physically choosing to move forward. They know that this is the start, okay? They know, is the sacral chakra active at the moment? Yes. Okay. So is sassy energy coming in? Yes. Oh, I will say it is. That's because Pluto is retrograde too. I want to get a clarifier on this. I'm hearing honey to the bee. New beginning. I'm hearing return to innocence. Yeah. Yeah, there's childhood related. There is a new beginning here. There is a creative process. There is a new creative process. Can you tell me how my DM is after I catch up? I'll have a look into. They know that you can move on. Okay, they don't want you to, but they know that you can move on. Okay, we'll move into the super chats. Let's have a look. I don't know. They're making reference to. Were you in your kitchen, warrior woman? Were you in the kitchen? I don't know why I'm saying. Why are they showing a reference to a kitchen? I just, whatever my guides tell me, I've just learned over the years to say. Doesn't have to make sense to me. That's what a friend said. There you go. So I'm saying a kitchen, and I'm saying, look, it feels like whatever you've said to them, they've kind of, it's like you've given them the PDF. Okay. I think they really enjoyed being there with you. They've shared some things about what has been going on with them. More than they have in a while, which is unique, but they were really, really listening, right? There was a lot of listening. Why am I saying a hairy face? Have they got a bit of facial hair? Why are they making reference? Is this your individual, or is this somebody else that they're making reference to? There's a strong energy between the both of you. I don't know that the card here is maybe making a reference to, then this could be another person they're showing me, Dale. There is a person that could be coming through that past. This could be an old energy. It is male. This is a person that had like a beard. It looks like facial hair, but they're popping in anyway. So what we have is, look, the bond is really strong. The strength card could be either it's to do with family and children, but I just feel whatever the boundary is that you've made, there's one or two. Yeah, because I feel the person that is coming through is lighter in hair color. It's sort of like, yeah, we could say like ginger, like that's the person who's coming through anyway. But on the note of your love interest, I feel that they're looking at you like you're quite a strong. I feel you're actually quite calm under the circumstances. Your hands might have been clammy, but I mean, I feel you're coming through as the ascended energy. There is a strong bond between the both of you. Was there a statement or a question? They're playing it over in their head. Warrior woman. Warrior woman, were you naughty? Just how is he feeling about it? Deeply attracted? Oh, I don't know. It feels more adult. The aura feels really adult to a degree. Chemistry, I would also say, was the intimacy that day. There's chemistry, but I do feel like ultimately, like very much listening to you. Whatever you said, that is coming through very loudly to me. So whatever the conversation piece was prior, I do think this person is taking it very seriously. I think they're actually taking it like a PDF map of what you're actually wanting out of the connection. There's deep chemistry, so it's either you've done the deed, because we have got that here, but it was feeling that. But it did also feel the spiritual connection of seriousness. That's what I've got, okay? You had to let the rooster out. You're a jag. I hope that helps. I think so, yes. I'm not getting I'm not getting anything untoward or he feels, very heart-centered, very matter of fact. So I don't get any juju on it or anything like that. Feels adult. Very spiritual as well. So no, I feel the energy is pretty good, warrior woman. Okay, who's me next be? I better check on this because I don't have my moderator in the house. Angela. I surely can, my love. Thanks, Lois. I appreciate it. Okay. Angela, what I'm getting is that has there been a conversation most recently, Dale? I feel there has been some sense of a confusion. I'm getting a conversation that has caused, I feel you're okay. Let me put it that way. I don't think like that this person does not love you or anything like that. There is a vibe where they're unable to express how they're feeling to do with something. But they're making reference to, they're making reference to the previous phone call. So whatever was spoken about in that phone call or message, they're really mulling over it. They're really, really mulling over it at the moment. Okay. You feel something's up. You feel like you want, in a way you want to call, but in a way you don't. You're thinking, I shouldn't need to. This shouldn't get like this. You're moving forward though. Do you know what I mean? Like you're trying as much as possible to stay grounded. You've had your moments. You've got, you feel that it's due to you're trying to eliminate that old self chatter. Does that make sense? So in the past, you might have found you would have gone down that rabbit hole and told yourself 100 things. Psychologically, what you know is what you know. Do you know what I mean? So you're trying to keep that tunnel vision in a very logical sense. You're kind of like, no, but this is what the reason is. So therefore, I'm just going to focus on that as it being a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm speaking in code here. But doesn't mean that the shadow energies are not coming up. Yeah, it would be. But I feel that you're trying to push that to the past. You're trying to get it to the point it's not defining you. But it's frustrating. Okay, you're really frustrated. You feel a phone call isn't something too much to ask. But you're trying to keep grounded. You're trying not to lose your shit. You're like, just because you're around people, it doesn't mean you can't speak. You're kind of wondering if both of you are waiting on the other one to call. You're trying to circle yourself with happiness. I'm being shown like you want this to be, you know, the proper connection, the proper reunion. You do, okay? Will I hear or do I need to correct it? No, I don't think you need to go, Do you feel you need to correct it? I don't think it was an argument or anything to that degree. You can chuck a text and say, are we good? Like, are you right? Or are you up for a chat? Just keep it simple. 9 times out of 10, it's us that bring the past up and they've moved forward. They're like, don't know what the problem is. But if there's been silence and you have given that person space, you're always within your right to go, hey, are you free? And take it from the here and now and go from there. And then, you know, gospelly, it could be something as simple as she thought maybe you didn't want to talk. So I would address it that way. You got your reunion card. That's what you're wanting. But you're also worried that something's wrong. So if your instincts are saying, hey, should I actually chuck a text message? I'd probably do a text message. You could do a phone call, I mean, if you wanted to. But it depends on how that person takes it, you know. That's up to you, how you deal with it. But at the moment, it's gone on a little bit too long in your mind, and you're feeling this need that you're like, do I just need to bite the bullet and contact? You're also wondering if you're going to need a flight. Okay. I hope that helps. Only because the Jupiter card's there. I always look at it as Jupiter. So yeah, it's up to you, Ange, if you want to try and contact. It could work. Cosmic journey. Why am I seeing a person with blue eyes? Cosmic journey. Who's this person with blue eyes? You're having some interesting experiences at the moment. What are these experiences? Are you having senses that are changing? Thanks, Lois. Interesting. You have a very interesting pack of cards here. I'm getting that you might have two options, but I do see this person. I don't know if this is a reference to a song or this is maybe the person that you like, and they've got their bright blue eyes though. Who is this person? This could be a song reference, but I'm seeing an individual with bright blue. Do you have bright blue eyes? Are you the one with the bright? There's somebody here with bright blue eyes. But my guides are saying something to do with your senses at the moment. Are they transforming and changing? They're making a reference to that on a random note. It could be that you're starting to, you feel different. You're feeling like you're sensitive and you're picking up things different to what you haven't before. And if this hasn't happened, pay attention, because they're really deeply making reference. I have green eyes. Okay, well, there are two people here. There's two energies around you, doll. It's funny. I kind of feel in your life, you feel, are you going to be stuck in between a rock and a hard place? Are you currently single? Because they're making reference to two people here. This is two potential people. Now, sometimes how that can come through in a channeling is that the person goes from being one vibration to another. But I do feel there's a potential of two people here, two paths. I'm being guided away from negative influences. Yeah. Platonic. I feel your instincts, like you have a good instinct. You've got the moon card, but my guides are showing me that it's more instinctual. You're instinctually navigating your way and you're trusting it a lot more, which is really great, because a lot of times on this journey, we tend to form a very ill kind of relationship with our intuition. We get mad at it, and so we shut it down. And I feel that you're actually embracing it. Not really single. Yeah, well, that's how it was feeling. So have they really, really changed? Because it feels like whoever this person was versus is has changed. This is like day and night. I think what you may discover is, how do I explain it? We've got this card. Now, this is in the past position. This is where maybe the connection, and the funniest thing happened to me. It was almost like I always wanted the marriage, the white picket fence, the kids, and the energy swapped, and I sort of, resolved myself to thinking that'll never happen. And then within twin, it's almost like that energy of tradition frequency comes through, and then they review that factor with you. So I get that this person's really serious, very, very serious. And you're like, slow down. And they're like, no, man, I really want to move this forward. So it's like day and night. It's moving very quickly. It's going from a non-committal to a, hey, I want to be in a partnership and let's run down the aisle sort of. It just feels really serious. Does that make sense? I'm feeling your sixth senses are growing. Something to do with your eyes, though. Are you astro traveling? Are you channeling now? Have you found something has changed? Because they're really done on it. It's either you're going to end up doing something in healing. This could be psychic development. It just feels it's channeling. It's strong, whatever it is. He's been stuck with the karmic. It feels hair dull as if it's shifting. This feels physically shifting. It's going to go from day and night. That's what reference they're making here. From day to night, going from can't to physical movement. This may be due to, I feel you calm. Yeah, I really do. I feel you calm. Does the karmic have blue eyes? A lot of channeled messages lately. Yeah, well, they're making reference to the fact that you are going to be doing that more. So your aura is very calm. Very calm. I think you're very accepting. Does that make sense? It's like you know what needs to happen. You get your reunion card. It's like right here. It's almost like the person, maybe if they are there, it's platonic. Do you understand what I'm saying? And to them, they know, okay, that as an empath, I feel your twin empathizes with this situation with the karmic, but they're closing it. They also feel as though they, how do I put it? They've been through a chain of very unfortunate events. You're turning your head. I think, it's really, you're quite, how do I put it? You're quite detached. Do you get what I'm saying? Not from a I don't love you point of view, just from the point of view of I know I want the full cake and I empathize and understand with you. I have the world of love, but I actually want the whole cake. So I feel your aura and your demeanor is actually helping that person physically transform. Okay? You don't want any drama. You're just like, look, I do have faith in you. I do love you. But this needs to look different. Do you have a question? Have you been wondering if they're still intimate? Or if that person tries it, because that's what the cards come up as. I think it might have popped into your head. Again, I just feel you're really grounded. I feel you look at it and you're kind of like, maybe. Because this feels more a platonic contract. Does that make sense? His work situation, will it ease up? Yes, I think so, but there's other changes also going on. This feels just busy, a lot of busy energy with that individual at the moment. I feel they do have a plan. Whatever this plan is, it's an insane one, but I mean, they're doing it. they're getting their ducks in a row. This feels accommodation related. It feels just frankly, getting their ducks in a row. What star sign are they? Yeah, well, that's how it's coming through here. I do feel during Aries and Chiron retrograde, this is when they'll have a breakthrough with that. She does know, though, there has been a bit of conflict in the last few weeks, I would say, especially with, she knows. That's all I'm saying. Ew, Aquarius. Good old Saturn's retrograde. I hope that helps. Look, like I said, your aura's calm. Their energy is super go, go, go. Do they get that I wouldn't say you're detached. I would say it's almost like you've sent it out there directly to them. Look, I actually want a connection one day. It's getting a bit on. And I feel that's kind of how it's come through to them. They do notice a change in your demeanor. So I think whatever drama is going on over there, as far as they're concerned, it's purely platonic, but the person's not getting the message. And so they're really watching them at the moment. They're gauging it. I do feel some of those situations are going to start closing out shortly, but there could be I do feel a fight. I do feel a large fight, but I think they have been fighting for a little bit, but it's more in a statement piece of how they're expressing their own boundaries. It's like, well, look, this is an agreement. We're physically, under a box roof, but this isn't that. Oh, God, yeah, he's getting pissed off. This is far as it goes. So it's like he feels he's being parented and he doesn't respect that because it's out of respect they've physically stayed together. It's not a romantic connection. But I do see a fight coming. Not that I wish that upon anyone, but, that's what I'm seeing coming through with my guides. I hope that helps, love. Oh, I'll see you next, my lovely. Yeah, hey, look, and they will be. The astrology, I warned the feminines. You watch it. Yeah, no, you can't. That's like eating hay forever. I did nursing and, being able to come, and that came up really loudly during these cancer transits, is the care that we give for people. It does take a toll. It's hard. Carers can go home. Nurses can go home. You still go home and you do take your work with you. But when you're physically living and caring for a person, you don't get a break. I know, Dal. Hey. How you doing, Loss? Oh, you know what, Lois, you're so ready. You're like, oh, you're a bit fed up. You got the quirky energy coming back, though, which is good. It's on its way. You might have been a little bit irritable. You're so patient, though. You're so patient, understanding. I'm hearing the term incoming, and don't be surprised if your daughter communicates with you and says she's got a channeled message for you. I'm hearing incoming. Love it. So yes, I will be opening the twin flame videos up shortly. So I'll open them up more than likely after this. And tomorrow I will be recording the masculine, feminine, and karmic. And I'll be uploading it to the members hub. And that's for the next week. I tell you, I was cramming 4 days. I did 27 videos. You get no idea. Lois, are you feeling a bit imbalanced? Or are you feeling in general? No, this is about your twin. Okay, what the diddly o's going on here? Okay, number one is you're walking in your truth. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to be single forever. I'm not going to be single forever. I do want a relationship. I want to be open to a relationship. I hope you one day can do that. But if you're not, I guess I'll be open to whatever experiences are coming my way. Now, it's funny. I actually get a vibe. Anytime you do that, you actually get psychic attacks. Doesn't it suck? I'm just going to go on my merry way. Oh, the joy. Okay. You know what? You should see his cards. Very interesting. Lois, your profile. Your profile. Do you have a Facebook or an Instagram? Because I'm seeing this individual physically looking at a profile. It's a physical profile. I feel that somebody in their circle has passed away. It's a female. That's really weird. Okay. I feel that you're going to, your daughter is maybe going to give you a chat or message, or you might pick it up. They are so bloody bored what they're doing. They hate their life. They hate it. They've got the Four of Cups. They're like, look. There you go. Getting the song again, Since You've Been Gone. That's a random song. Is that in relation to the Karmic? Because they're actually looking at the cup and it's like, okay, that's quite mean. I can breathe for the first time. Look, I'm just channeling messages. Don't mess me up for these cards. That's the song that came through to that card. I'm like, okay, that's a bit of an ouch. Now, this can be, I'm definitely seeing somebody on social media looking for you on social media. Okay, this sounds horrible, but you know that whole notion till death do we part. I don't think he feels that's possible. He feels so sick of it. Oh gosh. Gee. As we say in the European language, Gerstort which means may no evil I connect to you. I'd never wish that on anyone, you know. But my guides were saying it felt like a female energy had transcended over. And it does feel like most recently, whatever this is, it does feel most recently. I don't know if it's on their side, though. I don't feel it's on your twin side. I don't think so. The location they were at, they're not there. I don't feel the last location you believe this person was at, my guides are showing me they are not there. That is not where they are. So whatever that destination was, that is not where they are. Have your guides been showing you that, Lois? Have you had that instinct that that person's not living where they were mentioning they? Because I'm not feeling them at that location at all. How many children do they have? 2? Because I'm feeling 2 energies. This can be grandkids, it might be their own. I actually feel this person is with children. I don't know whose children they are, but they feel adults, and it feels two adults. Well, yeah, it kind of come across a little bit sarcastically, so it could have been the mother-in-law, but I don't think it was the mother. Yeah, I don't think it was the mother. So I'm getting that he's not living where we last had our channeling. I'm not seeing that person there. I'm seeing 2 adult males. I'm seeing him at that location. I don't physically think, I'm not feeling an RV. I don't feel that at all. I'm seeing two physical male adults and this individual alone being with these two male adults, and I feel there's remoteness. Why? I don't know, but I don't feel they're in the same hemisphere together. I'm not feeling their energy next to each other. Actually, I have not felt his energy in the RV, I would say easy for 6 months. Easy. It felt elsewhere. That time I told you the channeling of walking up your driveway, this person's been moving around. They haven't been in one location. Don't know why. That's what I'm picking. With you, you do have an option coming up. But you'll find anytime you go into a connection, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Lois, something pulls you out of it or something feels funky. Even psychic attacks possible. That's kind of how it's coming through to me. Every time you go in, this person's thinking on you so much. Your counterpart's thinking on you so much. It sounds kind of nasty. It's almost like they don't want you to be with anyone. That's really funny considering, the vibe I pick up with the Karmic is quite a dominant energy. When they're with you, they have that masculine demeanor, but they actually don't with the Karmic. I hope that helped, Lois. So I hope we're okay. I will open the Twin Flame update shortly. I'll go and have a break. We'll be back again next Friday. This was had to cancel the last live, and that was because we have them on Fridays in the AM Western Australian time, 8 a.m. For those of you that haven't been getting the notifications and the members, it did occur to me when I went back and edited, because our super chat prices changed. So I had to go do that. That some of the automations were coming out at 9:45. So no, you wouldn't have been getting one. So I had to do a year's worth of bloody post for change 9:45 to 7:45 a.m. so you could get your notification from me. Jeez, I must love you, Zoe. I think all up between the Members Hub and the YouTube main, 370 posts I did. And I do have my website that actually does give you the notification. So it's free to jump on board, guys. Just jump on, download the app, sign in with your email, and you're done. You get your freebie star signs, freebie Twin Flame posts. Yes, we do have the subscriptions. And I have got them on discount at the moment. They're $35 for the duo as a one-off monthly trial. So I've reduced the price, and you can jump on. You can only get it once, but they're $35. And so I'm going to love you and leave you. Hi, Jan. How you doing? Heart chakra. Have strength, guys. I do see communication as a potential. I might do a midweeky update later. We'll see how we go. Take care. Love yous all. Bye.